Hey there, I'm Grant Wooldridge. We're here at the Wooldridge factory in Seattle, Washington, and with good friend April Vokey and her new boat, which she is going to take home today on her birthday. Happy birthday, April.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're so excited. She's got a 20-foot Alaskan XL here, center console with a 150 HO E-Tech and jet. And we're going to go through it, take a look at everything, and it's pretty exciting.
Let's go through some specifics just to kind of go over why Wooldridge boats are so special, especially when you compare them to other boats that are on the market. Since I was in my teens, I've always wanted a Wooldridge, and I would like to share with everybody why that is. So let's just do a roundabout.
Yeah, all right, cool. Well, there's many ways that we can build different boats. That's one of the unique things. We find out specifically what the person's using it for. In her case, spay fishing, fly fishing. It's a destination boat, point A to point B, so there's unique things we did in this boat that might be a hair different if I built the same hull for a guy down here fishing the Cowlitz or a guy in Alaska or Idaho. So anyways, we'll go through and I'll point out a few things on the boat. You can see right off the back, we have a couple swim steps on this boat. No kicker motors needed like you'd see commonly here down the northwest or western Washington, because she's run into a position, she's going to climb out of the boat and fish there on the shore or into the water, so nice and easy to get in and out of the back, correct?
You got it.
Yes. Railings on the sides. Instead of normally running them all the way back, we ended them early. So again, climbing in and out of the side of the boat, we get to our destination, makes it easy to get in and out. Go do what we're going to do.
Yeah, that was really important because the last thing you need is to try to get in and end up straddling one of these. And so for a lot of people, this is definitely advantageous.
All right, well, as we make our way up the boat, you see the railings again and the oars that we've added here. Mainly, this is for security. This boat does not have a kicker engine on the back. You can also use it if you're free drifting in certain rivers. Some places you can, some places you can't, but you can use them to kind of guide the boat, bring it across, back and forth the river. Extra control.
Big time. This makes me feel like I've got much more security, especially just, God forbid something goes wrong. It's nice to know that I've got a backup plan if I need it. Or if I'm traveling and I do want to fish certain rivers outside of British Columbia that I can fish from the boat on, this is definitely going to come in handy.
Good deal. Here we are at the bow of the boat. Neat thing you can see right off the get is the big, wide, broad bow. Our Alaskan series have that. Wooldridge is kind of known for that broad, blunt bow. Where it evolves from is in big whitewater boats. The wider, broader the bow, the more lift there is, and we can kind of get ourselves up and over rollers and whatnot. This smaller boat, where it really becomes an advantage, is pulling up to the beach. Someone who's getting in and out of the boat a lot, this makes it really easy for getting people or gear in and out. So you're going to really like that option when you're out there climbing in and out of the front of this thing.
Yeah, I've needed this in a boat or two in my life before.
Well, it makes a boat that's 20 foot long have similar square footage to, say, like a 22-foot boat. Because instead of ending at a point here and losing all this area, we made it wider. We got a nice big deck at the front, whether it's gear or people. See, she's got headlights in the front, so, most of us aren't running around in the dark, but, there's times we're up there, we're going to get this fish, and we're going to wait till we get this fish landed, and we may be coming back and pulling up to another beach or the trailer when it starts to have dim lighting, whether it's in the morning or in the evening, and those help.
That's right.
Got a lead-lock anchor system here, which is really handy. They make a nice system. It's very, you can change different anchors for different fisheries. You want Columbia-style anchor, sand, mud. You want a rock river-style anchor, which we have here. There's all sorts of different combinations. Works really well. Has their handy little lead-lock unit for just flicking the rope, dropping the anchor, retrieving it. Makes it nice and easy. Of course, the boat's on an all galvanized, easy loader trailer, disc brakes, LED lights, oil bath bearings. Very nice trailer, and we give our stamp of approval on the easy loader.
I love it. One of the unique things about Wooldridge boats is that they have a tunnel in them. And I know that there's not a lot of people that know this, and I was hoping you could explain further for me.
Yeah, sure. Well, the tunnel my father developed in the early 80s, and his thought was to accomplish a few things. And there's three extremely important things that our tunnel does for us. One is, and it's not a very deep tunnel, it just runs under the hull, 15, 16 inches or so, but allows us to get the whole motor. We can mount the whole engine higher than if we did not have a tunnel. Your average outboard jet boat, the intake foot, which is here, is normally hanging down about another 3 inches. Okay, that's something we can hit. It's a little more vulnerable. So our tunnel allows the whole engine to be raised higher, so the intake's raised higher. Okay, the bottom of this jet foot is roughly even with the deepest part at the bottom of the boat. Okay, so we have much better clearance. So shallow running ability. Now, shallow is great, but it means absolutely nothing if the boat doesn't corner well, okay? What's the point of running real shallow, this deep of water? You know, any corner you got to make, there's an obstacle. The gravel bar's there, the beach is there, so you need to be able to corner aggressively, corner confidently. So the shape of the bottom has something to do with this, along with the shape of the tunnel, and everything mated together. You can't just get one aspect of it and have it to work right. You got to get all of them. If you have one aspect wrong, you might as well not even try to go there, okay? Well, our tunnel, because of the shape on either side, it's like a skag. So when we go into a corner, because we still have some V in this boat, the boat can lean like it naturally wants to and still grip off of half of the bottom, but then water pushes off either side of this tunnel wall, and it acts like a skeg right in the back where you got this big nozzles trying to blow the whole rear end around, okay? So we can corner, and we can corner very aggressively. And that tunnel forces cleaner, uncavitated water right into our jet foot. So we're going to have a more solid application of power. Cavitation is air, and that equals loss of power, loss of cornering ability. So by forcing clean water in there, we've got solid application of power. The tunnel allows us to run shallow and really grips the water when we corner hard. All of our outboard jet boats, no matter what model, our little 17 Alaskan up to our big super sport drifters, they all have a tunnel, okay? So that's a very special thing, and obviously I'm biased, but I can't see running an outboard jet without one. Once you've run a boat without it and felt how they slip and slide and catch and grab and then run this, there's a very big difference, and you're really going to like it. It's going to get you up to them secret spots.
Yeah, there's nothing quite as sickening as slipping and sliding like that, so I'm excited to not have that problem. When this boat was being built earlier this year, obviously I came and checked it out, saw the specs, was able to see all the structure of it, and one of the things that really fascinated and intrigued me was just how much went into this boat. So I know a lot of people can't see beyond the floor, but when you're watching the boat being made, you can see the skeleton and the structure and all of the different complexities, if you will, that are underneath the floor. Can you just maybe explain that a little further for me?
Sure, yeah. Well, when we build a boat, we're not an assembly line. We build all the boats kind of individually. We spend a lot more time on the boats, inside the structure. Necessarily pumping out 100 boats at a time is not our goal, but making each one right, okay? And structure is a big part of what we do here. It takes a lot more time and a lot more man hours to do it, but it's the right way to do it so you don't have issues down the road. The byproduct of putting more structure in the boat in the right places, you can build a stronger boat and actually make it lighter if you put the right amount of structure in this thing. So then the byproduct is going to be better fuel efficiency, better load hauling payload. The boat doesn't need as much power to get up on step and run where it needs to go. We're going to float in less water because we're saving weight. So we believe in not packing unnecessary weight. Where other boat builders may rely on just skin thickness for most of their hull strength, and don't get me wrong, the skin is absolutely a very important part of the hull, but equally as important as the structure that supports it. If I was only relying on skin thickness, you could have the thickest skin in the world and the strongest welds in the world, but if things could move and flex, you could end up having welds that crack and go away from you, and here we're packing around unnecessary weight, which hurts our performance, fuel efficiency, shallow water draft, and everything. So yes, we have quite a complex structure system. We'll show some photos of that so you can kind of see what's going on inside of this thing, but that's what's going to be giving us the byproduct, the awesome performance, load hauling, efficiency, X, Y, and Z.
So now that we're inside the boat, I mean, this boat is really spacious, and that's really important for me. So obviously, being a guide, I've spent a day or two in a jet boat, and one of the things that's really frustrating for me is that I feel like there's just never enough room, and there's always clutter. And one of the things that really appealed to me about the interior of this boat is all the storage space. So, and of course the gunnels, which we'll get into. So let's talk a little bit about what you guys have put inside the boat.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, we can set up these hulls any way we like, and we set this one up especially to fit your application. And again, from here you can see our nice gunnels. We can get in and out quite easily if we're pulled up to the shore. Just got double trays that you can see there, interior lights, so if we're out getting ready in those early morning hours, we need to see things, but we don't want lights just blaring on us everywhere. It gives us a nice little indirect lighting. We can see our rods, we can see our gear, we can see what we need. this would not come into play so much with April because she's fishing from shore somewhere, but someone who's maybe fishing from the boat, that secure feeling where you get your feet up underneath the tray, you've got that secure feeling so the boat's rocking back and forth. You've got a nice little toe kick there on the side. When the railings continue back, you've got something to lean against that meets you right here. In the back here in April's boat, we've got some locking storage. Nothing in particular, but there's all her pumps, fuel filters, gas water separator, the oil reservoir for the engine. That's right here. We've got a wash down pump or coiled hoses behind here. And you can do many different things with this type of storage. If it was going to be for, say, Plano tackle boxes or things like that, you can do all sorts of different neat things. On this side, she's got a nice big area just for that application. She can stick, whether it's a lunch bag or a tackle box or anything. She's got plenty of storage in there that she can lock up so she doesn't have to worry about it. Locking storage underneath the center console. I guess we should look at what else you got on this thing.
Well, let's talk about center console.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is one of the things that was really amazing for me, getting my boat through you guys, was that we were able to customize everything to my size. And that's really important to me so that I didn't feel like I was getting put into some stock standard that was maybe designed for somebody who was a lot bigger than I am or something like that. So this, as we can see, and I'll let you do the walkthrough on it, but I feel totally at home here. And when I've driven other people's boats or other boats that I used to guide for a different company, I always felt like the steering wheel wasn't where I wanted it to be. The windshield may have been off. Let's explain that a little bit for anyone watching.
Yeah, well, when we were designing this, we literally, okay, April, we gave some different heights and we gave our opinions on certain things, and she really dictated where she wanted lots of stuff. From the height of the windshield, she's got a folding windshield here. So if it's crummy weather and she's sitting on a seat driving, she's behind here. But if you want to be able to look over the top and just have that wind break, she's not looking through this bar. She can still see well over the top. This could be wherever you want. This was specific to her needs, and actually, I really like this design and how it's going to work. You're going to really like it. So, the console we made a little bit wider for her. It just feels good. The boat's plenty wide. There's so much room in this thing. We've got plenty of area to get around the side. Why not? Made it a little wider. It's got some nice gauges, her stereo, the controls on this side, switch panel, all Blue Sea stuff we use for our electrical, so it's about as high end as you can get. So everything's top notch. She's got her wash down pump switch here, so you can turn that on from the dash, see that it's running or not.
So one of the things that was really important for me was that I had gunnels that were able to accommodate a lot of the larger rods that come in and out of my boat. Obviously, we don't get a whole lot of 16, 17 foot spey rods, but it does happen. And for me, a 14-foot rod is pretty standard.
Right.
And we've been able to make it so that the gunnels can accommodate that. They're nice and wide, they're nice and deep. Let's talk a bit about that for people watching.
Yeah, exactly. We've done a number of different things with the side trays and gunnels to accommodate different type of fishing styles or rods being stored. And with April, she's using some pretty long rods. So we used double trays that you can see, and the top one's nice and wide, and we continued it. We ran it as long as we could, and then the deck is still even with it as well. So she can set some nice long rods in here, not have to worry about banging them up, messing up a tip or something like that. So her rods are going to be secure, quick to get to when she gets to her fishing hole, and I think it's going to work really well.
Absolutely.
Well, we mentioned storage, and you definitely need plenty of storage because all the friends you bring along with you always got their backpack, something like that. You want to keep it dry, a place to put it. So besides the 3 locking storage in the back and the locking storage under the console, we have lockable storage under the 3 seats here. So there's a seat in front of the console, there's a dry box there, dry box here, dry box there. These are solid boxes. They have a welded bottom, they have a lipped top edge, so they are truly a dry box. Not all boxes like this do stay dry. The seats have swivels, so if we want to face back, you get that real bitter cold in the winter and we're running upriver for a ways. It's nice to face back sometimes with the back of your head. But anyway, you can face any way you want, plenty of room either way. She's got lots of storage up in the front. So here she's got locking storage, and on this side we have dual batteries. Okay, so we put her batteries up in the front. Batteries can go front or rear. It really doesn't matter, but what I ask people on when we start deciding where batteries will go in a boat, how they are fishing. A lot of times free drifting boats, where maybe a guy's standing in the back, he's got a big engine, he's got a kicker, and he's standing back fishing, it's good to put batteries in front. The more balance you can get that boat, the better it's going to float, the better, easier it is to control. So she does have batteries up here. She's not necessarily doing free drifting, but that's the way this boat's designed. Got a nice big fish box up here on this side, so it's split. So from here over to the side of the boat, and from here down to the bottom of the boat is fish box. Plenty of room. It drains out through the bottom. Nice size. Up here, just more locking storage. Yeah.
Love this.
So, place to put all sorts of bags, whatever you need. Lock it up.
And I'm pretty sure this is Colby's platform. We may as well just label it now Colby Spot because he stands right up on the bow.
That's where he'll be, making sure to go in the right direction.
You bet. Oh, this is just so exciting.